the financial literacy ebooks that are available from Gale through Info Ohio
Oh,
were
that sounds
added
good.
this
Yeah.
fall. It's a pretty awesome collection. I was telling Tanya how I think kids are really going to like, especially the one I chose, which was on budgeting, because the examples it gave were teenagers, kids, like college age kids and teenagers that they're going to relate to more than if they were mentioning budgeting by a couple with children or something like that. And that they could download them on their fully downloadable, because I know some of the ebooks that Info Ohio has, you can read all of it, but you can only download a selected number of pages because of the issues that they have with, that they have the contracts they have with the publishers. But these, you can download the entire book, and kids could put it on their tablet, their Chromebooks, their phone. I just downloaded the one on the phone, and it asked if I didn't want it to be converted. I said, what do I want to open it in? And I thought, well, I like to read books on my Kindle app on my phone and on my iPad. So I downloaded that. It is the full book, so it wasn't available in the next minute or two. It said it would take a while. I haven't checked it since we got together here to find out if it's available. But the feature, at least the online feature, is that you can have the book read to you if you want the text-to-speech feature. Plus, there are 45 languages that it can be translated. So that is also another great feature, plus the highlighting and note feature. So this teacher could give a chapter as an assignment and say, okay, I want you to take some notes, and that's what I'm going to check, to see what your notes are, and highlight features. And then in class, they could go over what different people thought was where students were important, items that were important. So
do I have to have a certain app on my phone to download it, or do you download it and then you open it in your reader app?
Right. It says open in ... on my iPhone. And so I had to pick. I could have chosen Docs, Google Docs, or another one I might have chosen was it said Google Classroom. And I don't know what it would have looked like if it had been in Google Classroom, but it is a PDF document. So I would say it would just go into wherever downloads go if you download into something into Google Docs, but it's a PDF. So there was quite a few choices there. I just remember seeing the Kindle one, and I thought, oh, well, I've got Kindle on my phone. I don't think it would have shown up if I hadn't, but that's one of the options. But it just says open in, and then you have to put what it was you wanted. And then it said, do you want to convert it to Kindle format? Now, I'm thinking that Kindle also accepts PDF format, so I could have left it in that format as well. So do you want me to share my screen there on that?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I actually, Judy, I was starting to get mine set up so you could show me on my phone, and I didn't think it'd be an issue. I got a new computer, and it has all these preferences that I have to select, and it said I would have to quit the meeting and restart the meeting to be able to do what I wanted to do, which was you tell me how to do it on my phone, because I kind of want to have it for Brent. It sounds like a really neat thing for him, but if you want to share your screen and show us, that'd be great.
Okay, we will do that. Okay, the first thing is on here, of course, is our document that we were using to share, but Info Ohio's had some changes, and the main page doesn't look different than last spring, but the financial literacy ebooks are in the 9 to 12. There is a slight change in the format of the pages here. They're different grade bands, in that instead of going from top to bottom alphabetically and then going to the second column and then the third column or fourth, depending on your resolution you have on your computer or phone, it's actually going across now from left to right and then left to right and so forth. So the literacy is down here, and you just click on it You don't actually have to even be logged in as a school or anything. So the students would not have to be at school to do this. And the one I chose was this one, building a budget and savings plan to demonstrate. And you can see, let's get my little thing out here. But now on my phone, there was a button for download, but let's go into the book because I think you really have to be in the book to get that download feature.
There it is.
There it is. Download, and I haven't downloaded it on my computer here, but this is just downloading the front cover, which I don't think, so I'm thinking that maybe to save space, they're having you download a chapter at a time. Now on my phone, it downloaded the whole thing. As far as I know, I haven't checked it out. It wasn't complete the download, but of course it's got the source citation, which is helpful if they're doing a paper or something about it. But I was talking with Tanya about it, the translation. There are 45 different languages that students can choose if English isn't their first language and they want to have it in another language. They also have the text to speech here. And if you're on something other than the front cover here, then you can, let's go to one of the other chapters or whatever. I didn't really want to do that. Let's see, going into, other than the title pages, building a budget. So we'll get to one of the ones that has, okay, here we are, the freedom of budgeting. It has some illustrations, some pictures like this, which I think is helpful for kids not to just have straight text, but you can then, let's say you download. When I hit now on my phone, it asks, what do you want to open it in? There was like down on the middle over here on the right hand side toward the right, it says, what do you want to open it in? Obviously, if you want to just do the open, it's just going to open in a PDF. Now, I have not explored it enough to see if you could download the whole thing on your computer, but you can also send it to your Google Drive, which I think is helpful for students that are using Chromebooks. They automatically can open it up then in their Google Drive.
Well, I think too, if the teacher goes in and downloads it and then puts it in their Google Drive, then they can access it through Google Classroom or Schoology or whatever, because
exactly,
connect directly to their Google Drive and then
right,
put it in as an assignment or a read.
exactly. And no matter what page or chapter you're on, you have the highlights and notes feature here. I haven't taken any highlights and notes on this yet, but you know, we highlight something, it comes up with a little color. What color do you want it? And then you can put a note to that particular sentence or phrase or whatever you want. You can perhaps it's a word you don't understand. I think the teacher would need to show these features to the students, because I think they could be really helpful if it's words, you know, that are unknown to them. And again, let's say it's just, that's what you're doing, you really don't want to know, you can trash it or you can save it. So
Judy, can you do me a favor and open up the PDF and see if it gives you, well, I'm guessing you'd have to have some program on your computer that would give you those tools as well. So like if they opened it up on their Chromebook, they would have to open it in Cami or something, but do you have a reader for your
this is opening, I just clicked on it and it opened as a PDF, and this is the view I see.
Do you have any extensions installed? Oh, you do. You have read and write up there. Don't you have that puzzle piece? Isn't that read and write? See if you can use read and write on it. I'm just curious because if I had it on my phone, I'd open it in.
Okay, read and write will open things, I thought, but maybe I need to select.
Yeah, hit that. And, yeah, I'm curious.
Now, since I'm not directly in a document, I'm in PDF, it's not doing anything when I click on read and write. So, so yeah, I'm not sure. But again, I can, when I'm in the PDF, of course, I have the feature as I can increase the size to be as big as I really need it to be.
Okay, that's cool. I really
That's
like that.
cool. Now, I realize when you're in here, you're not going to have the feature that you can read aloud the text to speech. So I think that's something. So I mean,
I think this is just an incredibly powerful tool for, anybody that has, speakers other than English, whose native language, immersion programs, and just, students that are learning the other languages. This is just a super opportunity, a super resource.
Okay, and the other thing I really want to promote from this resource of financial literacy books is it's the full book. And also I was telling Tanya the examples I give, like this one, advice from mom and dad. It's for kids, young kids. It's not for 30-year-olds or whatever. And the pictures they have are examples that kids could more relate to than a family with 5 kids or something like that. And again, there's the sidebar, they call them sidebars. I think when you're in the PDF, you would see a be over to the side or something. I haven't gone into it quite enough, but I also thought instead of always having features about Americans, notice that they're comparing other countries to what Americans, this one about attitudes towards money, which I did read that part about how only 10% of Italian families have car and home loans. I mean, that might be something somebody'd say, well, gee, why? Okay, that's going to be your topic this week. You're going to try to, that's going to be something you and your team are going to try to find out. Why do Italians not take car or home loans? Do they walk everywhere? Is public transportation?
Yeah.
So there's some other features in this that I think I really liked.
Yeah, there's some great project-based learning aspects of that.
Right. The only thing I didn't see is but I haven't gone into it enough to find out if there's a teacher's guide or anything like that. I did not immediately see that.
Okay.
But the book was written in 2021, so it's pretty new. And I just thought, like I said, it looked like a great book that I would have used when I was teaching in the classroom. And I want teachers to know this feature is there. So that's why I'm bringing it up. But there's a lot of examples, probably every other page or every 3rd or 4th page, there's an example of a real situation.
Judy, something I'd like you to talk a little bit about also is we're able to, thanks to your training and additional research that you've done with InfoHio, NWOET is one of the InfoHio partners, and you can come out and do trainings for schools for free.
Exactly.
Exactly. Talk about that a little bit, please.
Roger, I just sent the contract in for this next year yesterday. Emailed the signed document.
So what's this mean to schools? What can you do?
Well, I could show them about these resources, and actually, since these are more high school resources, there are so many other resources for pre-K to 12th grade that I could show. It doesn't just have to be the Gale eBooks on financial literacy, but I would love all those teachers that are now teaching financial literacy. I've been told mainly social studies teachers. I would love to make sure they know that these are available, these eBooks from Gale. And the features in them,
and what are some of the other InfoHio resources? Kind of a related one that jumps out for early elementary, of course, is the book flicks. Talk about that a little bit. Yeah,
book flicks is back, and also there's a new one called Literacy Pro, which is taking the place of Storia, which is over 1,500 ebooks that have assessments at the end, and teachers can create classes, and students, put the students in, and they can take a file from their like a spreadsheet type file and import it. They don't have to individually import all their students, and I'll be showing that in a future vlog that we'll be doing. So.
And Judy, you can you can do this by live video, using Zoom or Google Meet, or
Right,
actually
It
go
does
to the
not have
district
to
as well,
be,
right?
I can come across, and if a teacher has a problem, by all means, they can contact me and we can meet by Zoom or Meet or any way, if they're close
Or you
by,
can come to the district.
I can come to your district. And I would love to get out on the road again and visit districts, to show them all of the resources, which I can't even imagine any classroom that there isn't something. I mean, there's even car repair that, is it called Chilton or whatever it is, Roger, that has things, their library that students can get online, going back to right here, Chilton Library, auto information with service and repair procedures. But just because they aren't in an auto class at the Career Center, there's still, do they even know that this is available? I mean, it goes beyond what you probably can get on a YouTube video. I mean, it's very highly recommended. And so they even have some kind of a test prep as part of this. So yeah, there are resources for all grade levels in Info Ohio. And I think a lot of teachers have not had the time to check out and see all that is there. So.
And that's
Yeah.
great, Judy. We can definitely put that on our resource page on the link that's on the screen right now, and they can reach out, and if they via email or however they want to do it, that they can actually set up a time that you could show them face to face, which has been great for me. I've been out last couple days this week. I've been out to school districts. It is amazing. It's wonderful to be interacting with humans again. So, but yeah, people can email Judy and or NWOET at NWOET.org, or any of the emails that are going to be at the end of this video, to have us come out and do something face to face, whether it be Info Ohio resources or some other integration of technology in your classroom.
Absolutely. I just want to follow up on that exact same theme, Tanya, a little bit more. Now's the time to plan for your October and even your spring PDs. I mean, get us scheduled, get us in there, let us help you with whatever the tech issue is. And I did want to mention on Judy, if you are planning a full day of tech or a half day of tech, get Judy to come in on Info Ohio for the things at the different grade ranges. Judy, you talked about that a little bit on how different grades have different types of resources, and absolutely free. There are things that have individual student subscription rates that would are high as $30, and the students at school and at home have these totally free. So an incredible resource. And Tanya, yes, say just a little bit more, Tanya, if you would, about some of the other types of PD available.
I'm going to stop sharing right now.
Okay. Well, I mean, any topic that you're thinking of doing, where it could be how to manage your devices. I'm doing a lot of that right now, where districts are struggling with the difference between regular classroom management rules of, like, if a student forgets their pencil or their textbook, how does that change when you have a device in your classroom, or they're using a learning management system like Schoology or Canvas or Google Classroom? How do you handle the things that happen differently, that if behavioral issues with those? So I've been doing a lot of that and helping districts write those policies. Also doing things like how to put things in that learning management system better. What things do you put in there? We, start with links in your Google Classroom, just digital copies, so you're printing less. And how do you have the students interact with those things? What if I have a PDF, how do the students fill it out if it's a worksheet? So Kami, that comes into play. So we have all of those kind of resources, knowledgeable background that we can help you implement those into your classroom. I mean, the list is endless, and we're going to cover more of the Info Ohio resources next week, and then maybe we'll slip in some of the other resources that we kind of brainstormed about that we think would be helpful to kind of start out your year successfully. So yeah, we can, whatever it is, you name it, we can do it. Those are just a handful of the things that we are currently doing at districts here for representing NWOET. So we're glad you could meet us today. Again, the email contact information is at the end of this video. Feel free to reach out to any of us if you have a question. Take care and thank you.